Hey guys, welcome back. John here. Today I want to go over 3 different tips that I think are essential when we're throwing the jab. So hopefully it makes our jab a little bit better. The jab has lots of different variations. It also has different setups, different reasons we use it. We can use the jab offensively, which is kind of what we're going to go over today. We can use it defensively. We can use it to set up other strikes. But the average jab, one where we're going to be working on stepping in to engage an opponent, needs to be done correctly. And so there's 3 things that I think we can do to improve no matter what level we're at and make it better. All right guys, the first thing we need to make sure we're doing correctly when we throw the jab is standing correctly. We need to have a good stance. What I mean by that, though, some of you have seen the neutral stance video I put out, and that's what I'm going to refer to today. We don't want to be completely linear to our target. You can get away with this in boxing maybe. You're not worried about leg kicks and things like that. But what it also does with my jab is it's just my arm, okay? What I want to do is stand 45 degrees from my target. I don't want to go the other extreme. I don't want to stand square because now my hands are up but they're not in front of my face unless I do something weird. So we need to be 45 degrees from our target and we want our shoulders to match that. That does a few things for us. First, it makes it easy. If we start square and we turn 45 degrees, my left hand is now, or my jab hand is now in front of my face. My right can be up high as well, so I have a little bit of defense here. Also, when I throw my jab, it's not just my arm because now I can torque a little bit of my core into it. My shoulders and my core work with my arm. That gives me a couple of things. That gives me extra distance and snap on my punch. So now when I throw it, it's my arm and my shoulders and my core working together to give me that distance and that snap on that punch. So that's the first thing I want you guys to focus on, is make sure we're throwing from a good stance. And one thing I always tell the guys that I'm training and we're fighting is that if you don't feel like you can throw a good jab, you're probably not in a good stance. Another thing about that jab is if you feel like you can throw it, you're probably able to throw your cross, your uppercuts, and your kicks all from the same stance pretty easily. So it's very important. Step number 1, make sure we have a good stance. Okay guys, step number 2. Just as important as step number 1, what we are going to do now is make sure that when we throw the jab with the correct stance and while turning the shoulder and the core, we are keeping good defense, okay? A good offensive jab, which is what we're throwing, we're throwing at our target, also keeps us safe. And that's what I'm going to demonstrate right here on the bag. So I'm going to be in my stance, my hands are up, and as I throw that jab and turn it over, and I'm being lazy right now, but I'm going to show you what I want to do. As I throw that jab, I'm going to rotate my fist, and that does a couple of things. It's your basic punch, but it also, as long as my chin's tucked, brings that shoulder to protect my chin, okay? As I throw this jab and turn, this shoulder is now my cover instead of my hand. I'm blocking overhands, hooks, crosses, things like that, protecting the button on my face. So what that looks like from the backside, you guys, I'm going to throw that jab and turn. And now I should tuck into my little shell here. You can't see my chin and hopefully the fist can't find it either. That's the goal. So as I throw the jab, I'm hiding my chin and my jaw from their fist. As it comes up, I'm torquing, turning, and as the fist turns, the shoulder comes up. All right guys, now the third part. Okay, so we covered standing correctly so that we have good hand positioning and we utilize the body with the punch. We also talked about making sure we're staying covered and safe while we throw it by rotating the punch and getting that shoulder to the chin. And the third thing we want to utilize, and this is something we practice from day 1 on, and it's something we all need to work on, is making sure we step correctly with that jab or with any punch. But with the jab specifically, we want to use it to close distance, okay? That's the basic use. So when we're standing here and I'm getting ready to throw my jab, I should not be in range for you to hit me. You should be in my range so I can hit you. That would be stupid. We need to be just outside each other's ranges, and it's a feeling out process. So if I just throw the jab, I should not be able to hit you. I need to make sure I close the distance with a small step. Okay, so we're going to be here, our hands are going to be up. I'm going to step and hit that full rotation, bringing that shoulder up all at once, and that completes our jab. Okay, you can do it with 1 foot like I did and keep the back foot back so you can get back right away, or if you want to advance, what I always do is I'll throw the front, bring up the back, and I'm back to a neutral stance. You can throw your cross off that as well. So on the bag, what that looks like is I should not be able to hit the bag, and I can paw it out there. It's a distance tool, distance finder, range finder. I'm gonna step, get that jab, and come right back. I'm in and out with the jab. Nice and relaxed. Okay? So, those 3 things are probably some of the things that you'll see people making the most mistakes on. Not having a proper stance, not rotating it correctly and making sure they're staying covered, because believe me, I do it too. We get lazy. We don't focus on it. It's just the jab, right? But it's the most important punch, I think. And we need to make sure we're using it as a rangefinder. We need to be out of range, and we need to use it to step in and cause, you can cause damage with it, but cause a distraction, or feel out and set up that cross, or set up that hook, set up that kick. So those 3 things, you guys, stance, make sure we're covering our chin, and stepping in, I think are the 3 most important things about learning the basic jab. So hopefully you guys liked it. Please subscribe if you haven't already, if you like the content. And guys, I've been telling everybody, coming up, I've got about 17 pounds to go, Glory 67 here in Orlando, Florida. So if you're local, guys, please hit me up, put it in the comments. I'll try to see what I can do for you guys, and let's get you to the show. Thanks, guys.